I'm up here on the bed on a stool because it's the most comfortable way to work here. Tomorrow, coming in is a new TV and some new stuff to go with it because I'm replacing this one. This one is a Nexa. It's a trucker's TV. I've had it for 11 years now. It's been good. It's been rugged. It has a built-in CD player, of course, or DVD player, which I don't use anymore, but it doesn't work now anyway. The sound isn't great on it, so I have another sound thing over here to plug into it to make it better. But this TV is an LCD screen, so unless you're right in front of it, go to the side and you really lose a lot of the picture. And it's run its course. The biggest reason is that even though it's kind of a smart TV, it doesn't play a lot of codecs. And if you don't know what a codec is, when you plug an SD card or a thumb drive in it with movies that are either in movie files or MK4s or MKVs, or there's a whole bunch of different ones. This is very limited right now. I have to download things in just certain formats for it to work. And I do have an antenna, but most of our entertainment that we might do is stuff I load onto a large thumb drive. And it's about time we had something that was a little more modern. What I have coming in is a Samsung a 1080 DP television, but it's a 2025 model, and I looked at the codecs and it's just like a slew of them. So it runs just about everything. So today, getting ready for the new equipment, I'm taking this down. Okay, this is what I had up here in order to make this whole thing work. I have 12 volts here, which powers the television, which was a 12 volt TV. It also had an antenna connection here. These were RCA ports for sound, which I don't use anymore because I use Bluetooth. But there's the antenna port that connects to the antenna when I mount it outside. Of course, HDMI cable, and that goes to this little device, which adds smart characteristics to an old television. You can see my thumb drive in there that I have movies on. So what I'm going to do is I don't need this anymore, and I am going to be mounting someplace here or over here or maybe on here depending on the room I have. I'm going to be mounting an inverter, a pure sine wave inverter for the TV. It's only 400 watts, the smallest I could really get that was any quality because I don't need nearly that to run the television. As far as the power concerned, I've done the math, and the power between the inverter and the TV should work out quite well for the battery system that I have. So now to take this stuff apart. Okay, so what I have left is power to run this antenna module, but I might take this to plug the inverter in. Although I could plug it in right up here too. I have another another plug up here. We'll see. The HDMI cable I probably will not need as far as I know, so I think I'll take that off now. And that's really all I've got. Antenna and power. And this audio cable to go to the speaker that I have when I get the TV, if it has an audio cable on it. I don't know, I could always run it via Bluetooth. Oh well. Here's a closer look at what we have to work with. Kind of a mishmash of power cords, but that's the way it is when you got a 12-volt system for the most part. This is a very thick piece of a maple that I put up long ago. As you can see, it is well anchored to the wall, including the aluminum studs behind here. So the TV, I never have a problem with it thinking it's going to fall off. I have a really good articulating arm coming, and hopefully that'll hold it. It's made for a 32-inch to a 50-inch TV, and my TV is only 32 inches, so it has a pretty high weight ratio, which you have to consider when you're in a bouncing trailer. And we are ready for the new installation. See you tomorrow. Well, before I mount anything up here, I've got the inverter, and it has no mounting holes on it. And I'd like to probably, I guess, mount it right there maybe. So I'm going to need to build something to put this here. I'm not sure what yet. Let me think about it. I decided to buy the Samsung 32-inch F6000, and it's a 2025 model, so I was hoping it would have all the latest codecs to play the movies that I needed for it to play. They also have an F5000, which is the same thing, except it's 720 DPI instead of 1080, which is fine in a TV this size, but it didn't have Bluetooth, which I thought might come in handy at some point. And I originally was shopping for a 24-inch, but all of them that I saw had lacking features, and there were not many to choose from. And I had to get a small inverter simply because I do not do 110 in the trailer unless I'm plugged in. Everything is 12 volts. So I found a small 300-watt one, which is about 3 times more than I need, and looked for some of the better reviews with fingers crossed. So to figure out how much juice this is going to take out of my battery over time, the TV is 45 watts. And since most of these small inverters are about 85% efficient, we'll divide that wattage by 0.85 and find that the actual wattage used is 52.9. At 52.9 watts with a 12-volt battery, I should be able to just use 4.4 amps per hour. Since I have a 200 amp battery, I should be able to get 45 hours out of it. If I run it 4 hours a night, 5 or 6 nights wouldn't even use up half that power. So I do have other things that I need to run. These 2 pieces of sheet metal, and I'm going to build something that encompasses it this way and this way. Bring it right up around there. I'm going to eyeball this for squareness. And I'm going to make a mark. No, I don't need to make a mark there. I need to make one here, here, and here. In order to bend it. And then it has to come around the front. It has to come around the front right about here. And here. I have to bring this one out a little bit. This actually is pretty thin stuff, so it'll bend good. And can I get in this into the vise one more time to bend it again? Not too shabby, I must say. Now, the bottom one. A little bit better. It's got some play to it. Okay, so this will be just like that. I think that will be fine. But I also think this is enough of this head strap camera. You must be getting dizzy. Now this came with 2-inch lag bolts, and it's meant to go into wall studs, but I have about 1 inch of wood here and another 1 or maybe a little bit more of aluminum trailer. You know, 1 inch is going to be good enough in this maple. Calls for another one down here, but that just isn't going to happen, because if I had put this up here, the TV wouldn't have cleared the ceiling. But that's not going anywhere. I could put a third one in the middle. I might drill and still do that. We'll see. I've got a VESA connection that came with the mounting system. They're usually 75, 100, or 200 millimeter spacing. This TV happens to be 200 millimeter, which I think is good, because I think it would be stronger to have that wider spacing. One thing I learned from my last TV is that nuts come loose. So I could put a little Loctite on here, but instead I'm going to put a little super glue and spray it with a little fixative. And that hardens it for good. Okay, those are not going to turn on their own now. Well, I brought the battery charger and hooked it up, so now it's acting as a power source. The inverter's working great. So let's turn it on. By the way, this thing is bigger than my other one for sure. Okay, let's go to source and TV, which I don't have the antenna connected yet. The second one over is the thumb drive, and I have some from last year that we used. Time Bandits, Boston Legal, and Anne with an E. That's Anne of Green Gables, if you didn't know. So let's hit Anne with an E. There's the episodes. And let's just go to one here. These are just downloads, by the way. I'm not on Netflix right now. Whoa, nice. Big difference from the other one.
Gather your things and be on your way. Class is dismissed for today. Let's get you home.
And let's see what the volume looks like. Really good sound for this TV. I'm not going to need to use my external speaker at all. This is plenty good. Let's pause. Let's return. Okay, return back again. Let me go down to Boston Legal because, when I did this one before, it was a small picture right in the middle of the TV, and it could be the video itself, but I was hoping it was just a formatting thing with the old television. And
previously on Boston Legal.
The media has painted me as the Black Widow, the gold digger who's poisoned her 70-year-old
so this
rich
one
husband.
is playing, right? Yes.
You are burning. You've killed 2 people inside of a week by definition.
The Time Bandits one, interesting little movie, by the way. I don't think would play. Tried to watch it and it didn't work. So let's just go to this and see what happens. Seems to be working. It's super speed. There we
Mom,
go.
I know you told me never to be in a gang. Well, I have to apologize. Dad, you said, Kevin, you'll never be in a gang. Have you seen him?
Well, more TV than I need out here. It will last forever because we won't be using it like the one in the house. But we got a Samsung TV. It's 32 inches. It's running great. The sound is fine. I won't have to hook it up with Bluetooth through my speaker system, and it seems to play the codecs that I put through it, the things that are on the thumb drive. And I'm going to download some odd, bizarre ones and try them because it's nice to download a bunch of stuff and then it just all plays instead of having to check each one to make sure it plays or not, or getting out on the road and realizing only half of them work. If you're putting up a TV in your RV, I don't know if this will help or not, but it was interesting for me to do. Maybe you enjoyed watching it. So long.